You know, we are tackling a massive, literally game-changing shift happening in the professional world right now. If you've ever had that nagging feeling that the traditional path, getting good grades, grabbing a degree, is kind of no longer a guaranteed ticket to a stable career, well, you are absolutely not alone. Today, we're breaking down some fascinating source material that exposes the real truth about academic degrees versus practical, high-paying skills as we barrel toward the year 2026. Let's start things off with a story, because this perfectly captures the whole shift. Check out these two childhood friends. Over on the left, we've got Rohan. Now, Rohan was the quintessential class topper. We're talking a massive 95% in his 12th grade exams. And naturally, he went on to snag a highly coveted seat at an elite IIT, literally one of the top engineering institutes out there. Now, on the right, we have his buddy Veer. Veer was, well, an average student. He scored about 60%. And the guy practically had to beg colleges just to give him an admission. Growing up, everyone told Rohan his life was completely set. And Veer? Everyone basically told him he was going to struggle to achieve much of anything. But flash forward 6 years after high school, and just look at this massive twist. Rohan, the elite IIT graduate, is completely unemployed, literally jobless. Companies just aren't hiring him. Meanwhile, Veer, the guy who's struggled to even get into a college, is sitting pretty, comfortably earning 2.5 lakhs a month. Like, how is that even possible, right? Why on earth are degrees failing someone as incredibly academically gifted as Rohan, while someone like Veer is out there crushing it? Well, that brings us to Section 1, the Great Job Crisis, a systemic reality. To really understand Rohan's unfortunate situation, we've got to zoom out and look at the macro data, because this isn't just an isolated incident. And this brilliantly illustrates the problem. According to a 2025 report cited in our source, India pumps out about 15 lakh engineering graduates every single year. Just look at this donut chart. Out of that giant pool, a staggering 40% are left completely unemployed. They simply cannot find jobs in their field. That is a huge chunk of the workforce. Now, you might be thinking, well, okay, that's probably just graduates from the lower tier colleges, right? But look at this next shocking statistic. 30%. Yep, that same 2025 report revealed that around 30% of graduates from the elite IITs are also sitting at home unemployed. And when corporations were asked why they aren't hiring these absolute top-tier graduates, their answer was brutal but completely honest. They said these candidates only possess book knowledge. They severely lack the modern, hands-on skills that are actually required in today's rapid-paced workplace. So the crucial point is Section 2, the screen time challenge. Let's talk about what's actually holding you back. If modern skills are the missing puzzle piece here, I want to ask you a very direct question. What is your exact screen time right now? Seriously, I mean it. Check your phone settings right now. How many hours a day are you spending just passively scrolling through Instagram Reels, binge watching YouTube Shorts, or, playing games? For a lot of folks, that number easily hits 4, 6, or even 8 hours a day. And here's the harsh truth. That screen time is the exact obstacle that's actively preventing you from learning these high-income skills. But here is the guarantee that our source material puts forward, and it's a real game changer. If you can take just 1 single hour out of that passive scrolling time, just 1 hour, and commit it to active skill building every day for the next 6 months, you will be able to start earning independently. It's a simple, straightforward trade. 1 hour for 6 months. That's the deal. Which takes us to Section 3, earning through AI tools. Let's dive into the booming AI market. Let's look at the very first massive opportunity you can learn during that 1 daily hour. Check out this figure, $17 million plus. Recent 2025 data shows that the AI image and video generation market has blown past this massive valuation. And honestly, it is growing like wildfire. The crazy part? You don't need to be some expert video editor to make high-quality content anymore. The AI does the heavy lifting for you, which makes this an absolutely incredibly lucrative space to jump into right now. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the contrast here. It perfectly illustrates the actual skill you need, AI prompting. See, AI doesn't just work magically all on its own. It needs instructions. If you give a tool like ChatGPT or Midjourney a super basic prompt like boy in a room, you're going to get a very basic, frankly unusable image. But if you master prompting, meaning you can give highly detailed, specific commands, you yield stunning, professional-level results. That massive difference in the output, that is exactly what clients are willing to pay top dollar for. So how do you actually monetize this skill? Well, there are 3 prime opportunities right now. First up, script writing. Content creators everywhere desperately need scripts for their videos, and AI can write them beautifully, but only if you prompt it correctly. Second, LinkedIn marketing. Company founders are constantly needing to post on LinkedIn to build their personal brand, and you can generate their posts using AI. And third, website SEO. You can help businesses optimize their websites to rank way higher on search engines. High-demand clients desperately need these assets. And the roadmap to learning this? It is entirely unintimidating. Here's how you do it, from absolute scratch. Step 1. Spend 21 days simply chatting with tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. Just get a feel for how they respond. Step 2. Move on to watching targeted YouTube tutorials on advanced prompting techniques. Just soak it in. And step 3, once you've practiced a bit, start pitching your services directly to clients. That's the whole shebang. Which leads us directly to the second high-income skill, becoming an AI web builder. Prepare to have your mind blown, because the source highlights a case study of a 15-year-old kid who earned 1 lakh rupees building websites without knowing a single line of C++, Java, or HTML. No way, right? But it's true. Because of modern tools, zero traditional coding knowledge is required anymore to build highly profitable websites. It's totally revolutionized. Here is your exact web builder playbook. For your tools, you can use something like Pix.ai to generate a basic site in literally 5 minutes, or step it up and use platforms like Replit and Lovable for more advanced results. Now, what about you target clients? Look locally. Gym owners, local shopkeepers, they desperately need an online presence, but they simply can't afford those expensive agency fees. You can easily charge them 3,000 to 5,000 rupees per site. And here's a pro tip straight from the source. Build a free sample for them first, show it to them, and boom, you secure them as a paying client super quickly. All right, section 4, creative and media skills. Let's talk about the gig economy. Let's shift gears away from the computer screen for a minute and look at the highly physical, interpersonal skills that are just dominating the gig economy right now. This is skill number 3, wedding reelography. Nowadays, everyone wants those fast-paced, beautifully edited short videos of their weddings, right? You really just need a good eye for camera angles and some basic editing chops. And the funnel to get clients is brilliant. Step 1, shoot 2 or 3 weddings for free for people in your network. Step 2, upload those highly edited reels to a dedicated Instagram page. Step 3, sit back and let the algorithm do the work. If your angles and edits are good, going viral will attract paying clients automatically. You completely bypass the need to cold pitch people. But hey, here's a hard truth we need to face. You absolutely cannot sell AI services or wedding reels if you lack skill number 4, which is communication. It is the absolutely critical baseline necessary to sell everything else effectively. The source strongly emphasizes practicing this for just 15 to 20 minutes a day using the rule of 4. First, body language. Make sure you stand straight, don't slouch, show presence. Second, hand movements. Use them to visibly project confidence. Third, maintain solid eye contact. And fourth, regulate your speed of speaking. Don't go too fast or too slow so you don't sound nervous or underconfident. Let's move to section 5 and see how this builds. The power of meta ads, a highly underrated skill. To make this abstract concept really concrete and easy to grasp, let's look at a scenario. Imagine a new local gym opens up and they desperately need members. Now, handing out paper flyers on the street, that's old school. The modern solution is running meta ads, which are simply advertisements placed right across Facebook and Instagram, specifically targeted only to users living in that exact city. You literally put the gym directly into the social media feeds of the locals who are most likely to actually sign up. Because practically every single brand needs this, running meta ads is incredibly lucrative. Now, I'll admit it does take a bit more complex learning, but here's a realistic timeline. Spend months 1 through 3 just learning the ad dashboard via free YouTube courses, totally free. In month 4, run a few low-budget practice ads for yourself. And then by month 5 and beyond, you are ready to pitch local shops and online brands. Because it's a slightly more technical skill, there is much lower market competition, which means a massive payoff for the folks who actually master it. And finally, section 6, skills over degrees, the ultimate takeaway. This brings our entire explainer narrative full circle back to Rohan and Veer. The ultimate provocative takeaway directly from the source is this: degrees won't save you, skills will. Book knowledge might get you a fancy piece of paper, but in 2026 and beyond, companies and clients are only paying for the practical, modern skills that you bring to the table. So what are you going to do with your screen time today? Are you going to keep scrolling away those precious hours, or are you going to close your apps right now and start your 6-month journey? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and honestly, I hope this sparks the start of a whole new skill set for you. Get out there and start building.